This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. So let us start the session. Hi, good morning. So let us start the session. Yeah, today we are going to cover three concepts which are like first one is EBS volumes. First concept is EBS volumes. So EBS volumes are very important here, right? So first we will start with EBS volumes. After that we'll work on S3 bucket, S3 storage. After that, we'll work on cloud drive. So these three concepts are very important for normally EBS volumes are for storage. So these are storage services. Okay, fine. EBS means elastic storage, elastic block store. So EBS volume and backup and snapshot. Right? Fine. So basically, what is EBS block storage? EBS block store. Okay, so let us try to understand. EBS volume is a block level storage. Okay, so this storage we can create and we can attach to our EC2 instance to the servers. Normally, this block level storage we can create and we can attach to our servers. Right? Yeah. So in this storage, we have different types of storage are available. So what are the types of storage are available? Let us quickly understand the types so that we can discuss today two types of storages. So that we'll go deep dive that. Okay. Yeah. Storage types. First one is EBS volumes. EBS. EBS means we already discussed elastic block storage, right? So this is block level storage. Block level storage. So EBS storage is block level storage, and we can create from 1 GB to 16 TB. 16 TB block by block. We can create this block level storage from 1 GB to 16 TB block by block, and we can assign the storage to EC2 instance server, right? So this is a block level storage. So we can say this is a SAN storage. SAN storage. SAN storage means SAN means storage area network. This is a traditional storage. Okay, so we can compare with this block level storage. So this storage normally, SAN storage is old storage, traditional storage. The make of the SAN storage is EMC SAN. Okay, EMC means it is a brand, okay, company name, right? So this EBS block storage we can compare with SAN storage, EMC SAN, right? This is the first storage which we discuss, right? Second storage is S3. S3 means it is a simple storage service. It is a simple storage service, right? So this is a objective storage. So this is not block storage. This is not file storage. This is a objective storage. Like we can compare with this Google Drive. We can compare this storage with Google Drive. So in Google Drive, normally we can upload any files, we can download any files, we can upload binary files, image files, video files, audio files, whatever files you want to upload, you can upload, right? The same way in S3 bucket, we can upload any file formats, right? So we can create S3 bucket, we can upload any file formats, right? So next one is third one, EFS. EFS means Elastic File System. Elastic File System. So this is a file level storage. So in this EFS, we can store only files, right? So file level storage only. So this storage normally for Linux workloads, Linux environments, not for Windows. Okay, EFS is mainly used for Linux workloads, Linux environments, right? To share the files from one region to other region, one availability zone to other availability zone, right? So we can share the files using EFS file system. So when we discuss about EFS, we'll go deep dive. It will take 1 hour. It is a 1 hour service. Okay. Next storage is Glacier. So Glacier is a cheaper storage compared with all other storages. So this is mainly used for backups and archive. So this is a cheaper storage compared with all other storages, right? So EBS volume, for example, 1 GB cost is $20, for example, right? So whereas this Glacier 1 GB cost is $1 only. That much of cheaper. So 20 times cheaper, nearly, right? So that is why normally this Glacier storage we use for backups and archive. So for example, one project is completed. So that project data is required for coming 1 year or 2 years. We have to save the data. So by the time what we will do, we'll move the data to Glacier and we can store the data in Glacier. But a Glacier is fine, cheaper storage. But whenever you want to retrieve, whenever you want to archive, it will take nearly 8 hours, 10 hours, sometimes 24 hours also. That is only the disadvantage. But costing is less, but disadvantages are there, right? So whenever we use this Glacier, so moving the data is very easier to Glacier. But whenever you want to archive, retrieve the data, that is big challenge. That is why big organizations they don't use Glacier. Startup companies, small organizations they use Glacier. Okay, so these are the 4 storages we are going to discuss. So today we are going to cover these 2 storages along with this one more service which is CloudTrail. We can cover today. Okay, fine. First we'll start with EBS. Okay, so basically what is EBS volume? EBS volume is a block level storage, so which will be attached to our EC2 instance, right? So EC2 instance we use only EBS volumes, block level storage, right? Fine. So I give you a small scenario. So after that we'll move to lab. Okay. For example, yeah. So we created one server and hand over to project team, right? So we got the request from the we received the request from the project team. So they required one server. So they required some storage, processing, memory. So as per the requirement, we created one instance which is server and hand over to project team. So after 6 months, the project is completed, right? So by the time they will inform us to terminate the server. Okay. So by the time they told that, so we don't need server, but we require data, right? So how to delete the server, how to store the data, how to convert it to other formats, let us try to understand. That is the concept. Okay, fine. Let us go to lab. So this is my AWS console, right? So I create one server here, instance. Go to EC2. launch instance, select instance, T2 micro only, configure one instance only, add storage. So we have to uncheck this. In real time, we have to uncheck this. If you check this, along with the instance, storage will be terminated, deleted when we terminate the server. So we have to uncheck this. Next, add tags, name, tag name, dev server, for example, dev server, right? So configure security group. We can use existing security group. So you can use security group, existing one. Review on launch. Click on launch instance. Use the key pair also. Okay? Already existing key pair you can use. Acknowledge and launch instance. Now our instance is launching. Fine. So instance is launched, right? So after that, once we launch this instance, okay, so we can hand over this instance to project team, right? So they start working on the server, they develop the code, they whatever they want to do, they can do, right? So after that, so once complete the project, they will inform us to terminate the server. By the time, so we have to get the approval first. We have to check the approvals in place. So once we get the approvals, once we get the proper information, then we can go ahead and delete the server, right? Yeah. So why they want to ask you to terminate the server once complete the project? Why they inform us to terminate the server? Billing, right? If you keep the server in console or if you keep the server alive, bill will be generated. Even though if you stop the server, storage will be storage bill will be generated, right? That is why they inform us to terminate the server, right? So by the time what we will do, so once we get all the approvals, right, so we have to terminate the server, right? Yeah. So now what we will do, for example, this server, dev server, right? So go down here, click on volumes. This is our dev server, first one, right? So if you go here, now this server is in, the storage is in use state. This volume is in use state, right? In use means it is running, it is connected, it is alive, right? So in use state. So once we terminate the server, this volume should be in available state, because so currently one instance is attached to the volume. This volume is attached to the one server. So if you delete that server, this volume will be in available state, right? So this is the server information, server attached information. See here, dev server is attached to the volume. So these are the different volumes available. Kubernetes servers are attached to the volumes, right? So these are the available volumes, last 4 volumes, right? So I can delete this last 4 volumes, not required here. Actions. Okay, I delete later, not an issue. Fine. So yesterday we created one AMI, right? So you deleted that AMI. You have to delete that AMI. Otherwise, it will occupy some storage, right? So how to delete? I did not. I haven't give you that information, right? So I'll show you quickly. So to delete that AMI, click on AMS, and I already deleted here. Select that AMI, go to actions, deregister. It will be gone from here, right? So if you keep that AMI, it will occupy some storage, right? Some bill will be generated. You can delete that. Okay. Yeah. Next one, volumes. So this volume is in alive right now. It is in use state. Currently in use state. Now what I do here, what I want to do, I want to terminate the instance because I got confirmation from the project team. So I'm terminating this instance. Select instance, instance state, terminate instance. Click on terminate instance. Yeah, now it is terminating. Instance is terminating now. Yeah, now it is terminated completely, right? So now if you go and check your volume, click on volume, see here, dev server volume, right? So here go and check, see here, what it is showing. Now it is showing available state because there is no attachment information, means there is no server information here. Server is gone, right? So volume is alive, volume is available. So in this volume, project data is available, right? So we have to save this data, right? So for which, if you keep this volume for 2 months, like the project team is required after 2 months this data, right? If you keep the volume as it is for 2 months, this is also billing, this is also costing, right? So what is the best solution here? Change your channel. Delete చేస్తాం. Yeah. So ఎలా retrieve చేస్తాం, ఎలా సేవ్ చేస్తాం డేటాను? What is the best solution here? You can, so if you move to Glacier, it will take some time. That is not recommended way basically. But how can we save this data? Now what we will do, this volume we can convert into snapshot. Snapshot. So here I gave snapshot also, right? So this is snapshot. Volume backup snapshot, right? So we'll convert into snapshot. So once we convert this volume into snapshot, what is snapshot basically? Snapshot is a like screenshot, like a replica, like a snap, right? So this volume we can convert into snapshot. After that, we can delete this volume. Snapshot is binary format. We will convert into binary format, right? So when we convert into snapshot, it will take, for example, it is 8 GB. So snapshot will take 2 GB. Less size it will take. So due to that, what will happen? Costing will be reduced. So as a DevOps engineer, what we have to do? So we have to reduce the costing in the platform, right? Wherever we can reduce the costing, we have to reduce. Client always monitor that, right? So unnecessarily the costing is happening, for example, right? So we have to control that cost, right? So here we have to give the best solution. So which is, we can convert this volume into snapshot, right? So select volume, this is the volume, dev server volume, right? This volume, I want to take one snapshot. Go to actions, create snapshot. Click on create snapshot. Description, no need to give. So you can give tag name here, name, dev, snap you can give. So some meaningful name you can give. Click on create snapshot. So now the snapshot is creating. So go to snapshots here, click on snapshots. See here, the snapshot is preparing here. Yeah, snapshot is being ready. Now the snapshot is created. It is ready now, right? Yeah. So once we create the snapshot, we can delete the volume. We don't require volume, right? So go to volumes. So this is the volume, right? Dev server volume. You can delete this volume. Go ahead and delete volume. Yes, delete volume. Now it is deleted. Volume is deleted, right? Fine. So once we delete this volume, the data is available in the snapshot only, right? So whenever the project team is required, so after 2 months, if the project team is came to you and asked to provide the data, so just wait for 5 minutes. We can ask them to wait for 5 minutes, and we can provide the data. How can we provide? So because snapshot is it is a binary format. So binary data we can't read directly, right? For example, sorry, బైనరీ ఫార్మాట్ లో ఉంటాయి, జీరోస్ వన్స్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి మనకి డైరెక్ట్ గా రీడ్ చేయలేము. సో మీకు జిప్ ఫైల్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జిప్ చేసిన ఫైల్ ఉంటే మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా యూ కాంట్ రీడ్ దట్, రైట్? సో దట్ ఈస్ వై, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, when you have zip file, what we will do, we'll unzip it normally, right? So this snapshot normally we can't read directly, so that is why what we will do, let us wait for a few seconds. Yeah, so this snapshot again we have to convert into volume. So from snapshot to volume again we have to convert, right? Yeah, so we have to convert this snapshot into volume. Click on create volume. You can give volume name, tag name. Dev volume. Click on create volume. Now the volume is creating. Go to volumes. Dev volume is created here, right? So now if you check here, see here now it is in available state, right? So once we create this volume, once we convert into volume, we can go ahead and delete this snapshot. Snapshot is not required, right? Delete. Now this is deleted, right? So after that, fine. So after that, once we convert into volume, so this volume, how can we read the data? In this volume, data is there. How can we read the data? For example, in your laptop you have data, right? So your laptop is giving some issues. You want to reinstall the operating system. By the time we take the backup, right, to pen drive or external drive. So once you take the backup into pen drive, so how can we read the data from the pen drive? The data. For example, you take data into pen drive. So again, you want to read the data. How can you read? You can attach to any laptop, right? Any system, and you can read the data, right? The same way, this volume we have to connect to any of the server to read the data, right? So this volume, what we can do here? So this volume is available in 2A availability zone, US East 2A. So the same region, same availability zone, we have to create one instance, and this volume we can attach to that instance, and we can hand over to project team, so that they can read the data, they can take the backups or whatever they want to do. Once they take the backups or once they work on that, after 2-3 days, they will confirm us to completely delete, so that we can completely remove the resources, right? Yeah. So for which we have to create one instance, click on instances, launch instance, select instance, configure instance. So here availability zone we have to check, otherwise we can't access the volume. We have to select this availability zone because the volume is in same availability zone, 2A availability zone, right? So that is why we have to give the same availability zone in the server, so that only we can access the volume. So add storage, default storage we have to add that server, add tags, tag name, test server, configure security group, You can use existing one, any existing one. Review and launch instance. I acknowledge launch instance. Now I created one instance here, test server, right? So after that, we have to attach that volume into test server and we can hand over to project team. Yeah, now it is in running state. Fine. So currently this instance is having one volume. Go to storage. See here. /dev/xvda one volume is there with the server currently. Now what I will do, I want to attach that volume into this server, right? So go to volumes. This is our volume, test server volume, right? So select this volume, click on, not this one, right? 1 second. Okay, this is test server one already created, right? So this is the volume, available volume. See here. This is the volume we can attach to the test server, right? So test server is having one volume already. This is a test server. It is having one volume already. Now I want to attach this volume to test server, right? So select your volume, dev volume, go to actions, attach volume. Click on attach volume. Here instance details. If you click on this, it will show you instances, whatever instances available. So click on this. See here. Test server is available in the same availability zone. Select this. So when we select this volume drive name it is taking as /dev/sdf. Okay. Now click on attach. So once you attach this, what will happen? This will be changed to in use state, right? Here an attachment information will be available. So server information will be available here, right? Once we attach to the server, right? So now go ahead and attach value. Select server. Click on attach. Once you attach this, automatically, so it will change to in use state. See here, in use state also. So this is the server information, test server. So test server is having two volumes here. See here, /dev/xvda/dev/sdf, right? Now go to instances. Refresh this. Now if you check storage here, click on storage. Go down here. So not yet updated. So it will update very soon. Only one drive it is showing. So wait for a few seconds. It will be updated. See here. Now two drives are showing, right? /dev/xvda/dev/sdf. Two volumes are available, right? So this is the way we'll get some tickets in real time, right? This is one request. Whenever project is completed, they will ask us to terminate the server, but at the same time, they inform us to take the backup. So by the time we have to save the volume, right? After that, to reduce the costing, we have to convert into snapshot and we can delete the volume. So whenever that team requires the data, we have to convert into volume again and we have to attach that volume into some server and hand over to project, right? So after that, they will work on that. They will confirm us to completely terminate, right? By the time we can terminate the servers, right? So now can terminate this, not required. Terminate instance. Now server is terminating. Any questions on ఇంతవరకు? సో ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏమున్నాయి? సో మనం ఇంతవరకు ఏం డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నామంటే ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ అండి, ఇది డెవాప్స్ కాదు, క్లౌడ్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్. ఎందుకంటే DevOps engineer, uh, yeah, as a DevOps engineer, we have to handle infrastructure. We have to create infrastructure. We have to maintain the infrastructure, right? So that is why cloud services we are working on. Now server is terminated, right? So go to volumes and you can delete the volume also. Dev volume you don't require currently, so you can remove this volume. Delete volume. So attached volume will not be deleted. So if the volume is attached to the server, whenever you try to delete that, it will not delete. You have to detach and you have to delete that. Detach means once you delete the server, it will be detached automatically. Right? Yeah, fine. So clear అండి, ఇంతవరకు క్లియర్ కదా? వాల్యూమ్స్, EBS వాల్యూమ్స్ అంటే ఏంటో అర్థమైంది కదా? Next concept is S3 bucket అండి. Okay. So what is S3 bucket? How to create S3 bucket? So why we require S3 buckets? Okay. So EBS వాల్యూమ్ మనం ఏం చేస్తాం? సర్వర్స్ కి అటాచ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ కి. కానీ S3 buckets అనేవి serverless storage, that is serverless storage, right? To upload files, to download files, like it will work like Google Drive. Google Drive లో మనం అప్లోడ్ చేస్తాం, డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుంటాం, రైట్? సో S3 bucket కూడా అంతే, సర్వర్ ఉన్నది బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో. So it will create directly in data center, right? So fine. Next one is S3 bucket. It's a simple storage service. So it is a objective storage. It is not a block level storage. It is not a file level storage. It is a objective storage. So any object you can store in the S3 bucket. Any files, any file formats like binary files, video files, image files, audio files, whatever files, right? Same as Google Drive, right? Fine. Now, so here we have some features, some important features of S3 bucket. First we'll cover that. After that we'll move to lab session, right? So what are the features available in the S3 bucket? So first feature here is low cost. Low cost. Okay. So S3 compared with EBS volumes, it is low cost, right? So compare with EFS, compare with EBS volumes, S3 is low cost, right? So whenever you want to upload any files up to 5 GB, it is free of cost. So once you cross the limit, beyond the limits, so charges will be applied, right? Up to 5 GB, whatever you want to upload, you can upload. Beyond the limits, pricing will be started. So compare with S3, compare with EBS volumes, S3 is low cost, right? Second one is scalability. So what is scalability, right? Scalability means, so whenever we create any S3 bucket, we don't specify any storage size, right? So we don't specify anywhere the size, we require this much of size, that much of size, not like that, right? We just create S3 bucket, that's it. So whatever you want to utilize the size, like 5 GB, 10 GB, 20 GB, 100 GB, it will allow you to utilize, but by end of the day, it will send you bill. AWS will give you bill, right? So whatever size you want to utilize, you can utilize. But how to control that size? How can we control? So in our project, we have three S3 buckets. We are using three S3 bucket. One is for development team, one is for DevOps engineers, one is for testing team, right? So for development team, the budget is for S3 bucket only 30 GB only, maximum budget. So maximum 30 GB only they can utilize. If it is crossed beyond the limits, client will question why you are utilizing this much of storage. But so it will not ask anything, right? It will grow day on day. When you are uploading files, so day on day it will grow, right? So by the time, how to control that? So we'll attach one monitoring tool. We'll attach one monitoring tool to S3 bucket. So once it is reaches to 50%, means 15 GB, we can give the limitation of threshold. Once it is reaches to 15 GB, it will send one notification. So again, once it is reaches to 80%, means 80% and 30 GB, no? 26 GB, right? Once it is reaches to 80%, it will send one more notification. Once it is reaches to 90%, it will send one more notification. Once it is reaches to 90%, what we'll do? What we will do? We'll clean up old data. Got it, right? To control the budget, so once we reaches to 90% of the storage utilization, we have to remove old data, old files, last 3 years, 4 years files we have to remove. Right? So this is the way normally we can control the budget of your S3 buckets. In our S3 buckets, we attach some monitoring tool. It will monitor that. It will monitor at 50%, 80%, 90%. It will send notifications. We get notified through emails. Once we get the notification, we can start clean up old data, last 3-4 years data. That is the way we can manage the size of the drive. But the scalability means it will allow whatever data you want to upload, it will allow. It will not stop you to utilize, right? So for that usage, you have to pay the bills. That is nothing but scalability. So third one is availability. Availability. Yeah. So AWS is providing 99.999% availability of your S3 buckets, right? So unknowingly they will not stop any storage, right? So S3 buckets are 24/7. These are available, right? So yeah, since 6 years we are using S3 buckets, so we haven't seen any downtime for the S3 buckets. What is downtime? It is a maintenance time. Unknowingly they will not stop any storage, right? So in 2019 December 31st night, by 11:30 p.m. they stop for 5 minutes. Prior to that, 1 month they informed us. So by 31st night we have some maintenance activity. So from 11:30 p.m. to 11:35 p.m. So the storage will not be available. Please plan accordingly. So that level of support they will provide. Unknowingly they will not stop any buckets, S3 buckets. S3 storage they will not stop anything. Okay. So this much of availability they provide. 99.99% availability they provide, right? Next one is security. Fourth one is security. So whatever data we are storing in the S3 buckets, so which is very, very secure, right? So unknowingly no one can access the S3 buckets. If you want to encrypt the data, you can encrypt. Encryption option also available. I'll show you while creating the S3 bucket. So we can encrypt. Encrypt means it will convert into binary format. So no one can read the data, right? For example, if you upload any files, if you upload any photos, any documents, your personal documents into S3 buckets. So if you want to add the security, more security, right? You can encrypt the data so that no one can access the data. Even though if you are not encrypting the data also, no one can access. Cloud is all about security, right? So some banking domains, they will convert into this binary format encryption, right? Yeah. Security wise, AWS is providing more security. Next one is, fifth one is flexibility. So flexibility means whatever data you are storing from S3 bucket, you can access from anywhere, from your home, from your office, from your mobile also you can access. But it will ask you to proper authentication. When you are trying to access, so you have to enter some login credentials. Then only you'll be able to access. Right? Without security, it will not allow you to access. Right? Yeah. Flexibility also very important here. Next one is simple data transfer. Yeah, simple data transfer. Sixth one is simple data transfer. So whatever data you want to transfer into S3 bucket, right? So it's very faster, like Google Drive. When you upload any files into Google Drive, so it will upload very faster, right? The same way in S3 bucket also. So it is very simple to transfer data. It is a fastest data transfer and lowest latency, right? So very simple, very easily you can transfer the data into S3 bucket. So these are the important features available in the S3 buckets, right? Yeah. Next one is, let us go and create S3 bucket now. Go to console, click on services, go to storage. Here we have S3. It is a simple storage service. Click on this. Yeah, currently I have one S3 bucket. This is the S3 bucket, right? So now, so I want to create one S3 bucket here. Click on create bucket. Yeah, bucket name. So bucket name should be unique name we have to provide, right? So it is the name is already available. It will not take. And also one more important thing here is S3 buckets are global service. See here, when I open S3 bucket, it is showing global. It is a global, means you can access this S3 bucket from anywhere, any region. For example, you created one bucket here, S3 bucket. You move to Europe region. You can access from Europe region this bucket. This is the global service. In AWS, S3 bucket and IAM service, these two are global services, right? So once you create the IAM account also, you can access from anywhere. The same way, S3 bucket also, you can access from anywhere, right? Yeah. So and also here you have to give bucket name should be unique name. For example, if you are trying to give DevOps, okay, and go and create this create bucket. What it is saying? So bucket with the same name already exists. So once you give the name, it will check globally. All the regions it will check, right? If the name is available, it will not take. You have to give unique name, right? So now I want to give DevOps batch FT. I think it is not there, right? Okay, next one. So default region it will show, but it is not regional service. It is a global service. By default, it will show something region, but it is not region service. Okay. So now go down here. So next one is block all public access. If you select this, so public access will be blocked. We have to uncheck this, right? After that, I acknowledge that current settings. Select this. Go down here. Bucket versioning. What is versioning? Version control అంటే ఏంటండి? What is version? Versioning means what does it mean? Versioning means basically In real time, for example, 10 people are there in the project. The 10 people are using S3 buckets. But who is doing what? How can we track? Using version control system. Who is doing what? Who did changes? When did changes? What purpose they did changes? The tracking will be happen through version control system. Right? So this is not free of cost. This is additional charges applied. In real time, normally we enable. In test labs, don't enable this. Okay. So when you enable this, so your name will be appear in real time. For example, some resource, some engineer deleted some files. How can we track that? Using this version control system, right? Yeah. Next one is tags, bucket tags. Same tag name we can use. Copy this name here, paste here. Same tag we can use. See here, and also encryption. If you want to enable encryption, if you want to encrypt the data, whatever data you want to store in the S3 bucket, you can enable this. It will allow you to encrypt. So by default, it is disabled. Don't encrypt this. Don't enable encryption. So it is also chargeable. It is not free of cost, right? So don't enable this. You can use default value disable. Next one is click on create bucket. So this advanced things we'll see once we get that. Okay. So click on create bucket. Our S3 bucket is creating now. Successfully created. This is our S3 bucket, right? So it will not take capital letters. Don't try with capital letters. It will not take all small letters we have to do, right? So this is our S3 bucket. So this is the creation date and time, and this is the S3 bucket. Now, if you open this S3 bucket, click on this bucket. So these are the, yeah, there is no object uploaded here. Nothing is uploaded. So we'll see that how to upload, how to access that. I'll show you. So before that, go to properties. So if you want to enable versioning here, edit this and enable version control, right? And also tags, if you want to modify tags, you can modify, edit this. And if you want to, yeah, encrypt the data, you can enable the encryption also, right? So all these things you can modify, whatever you want to modify, you can modify, right? So after that, permissions. So you can give permissions. Bucket policies also you can create. Whatever policies you can create. Policies means folder level access also you can give to the team. Normally, team members we don't give full bucket access. We create one folder. That folder access we can provide. That is the policies, right? So, for example, 10 members are there. 10 members, 10 folders we can create. That folder access we can give, right? Only that folder they can access, right? Yeah. Next one. Metrics. Metrics means some metrics we can create, some threshold. So bucket size here threshold we can assign. Okay. And number of objects. Once it reaches to 1,000 objects, it will send one notification. Like that, metrics you can create. So after that, management. So management is very, very important here. See here. So management is, here we have one option which is life cycle rules. What is this? Click on life cycle rules. So I want to create one rule here. Rule 1. Okay. So choose the rule scope, limit to the scope of this rule using one or more filters, right? I don't want to use that. This rule applies all object in the S3 bucket. I'm selecting this. All object, it is applied to all objects, right? Next, I acknowledge, go down here, see here. This is important. Life cycle rule actions. So first one is transition to current versions of object between storage classes. Current versions means latest files, latest data, right? I don't want to use this. Second one, transition previous versions of object between storage classes means previous data, right? So what I want to do here, see here, storage class transitions, days after object become non-current. So here what I want to do. So here whenever we have some data in the S3 bucket, that data we can move to other storages. That is the rule here. Okay. For example, storage class transitions. Here standard IA. Standard IA means it is the latest storage. Next one is intelligent tiering. This is also latest storage. Next one is one zone IA. This is also a bit latest one. Next one is Glacier. Glacier means cheaper storage. So what I want to do here, after some after some period, I want to move the data to Glacier by using rule. I'm creating one rule. So for example, it is completed the data. See here, days after object become non-current after 30 days. Whatever data we stored in the S3 bucket, after 30 days, the data will be moved to Glacier. So by rule also, by creating rule also, we can move the data to Glacier, right? So this is the way we can create the rules. I acknowledge and create rule. So that what will happen? The data, whatever data we store in the S3 bucket, after 1 month, that will move to Glacier to reduce the costing, right? So this we will discuss later also once we discuss about Glacier. Excuse me. Yeah. Next one is access points. Access point means same as folder access, folder level access, right? Yeah. So this is also not required. Now what we will do, go to objects, go back to S3 and open S3 bucket. So now I want to upload some files into S3 bucket, right? So click on upload. So I want to add some files. So if you want to add a folder or else if you want to add files, you can choose whatever. So click on add files. I want to add some file here. I want to add some EC2 document here. Okay, EC2 document I want to add EC2 and okay, EC2 EBS volume snapshot. Okay, EC2 document you can add. Later I share with you these documents. Don't worry. EC2. Click on open. Okay. So now I want to upload. Click on upload. When I upload this here, the document will be uploaded. Now it is uploading. So it is uploaded to our S3 bucket. So document is uploaded to S3 bucket. See here, this is the document which is uploaded to this S3 bucket. So now how to access this document? Okay. So open this document, click on this document, just click on this document. So this is the URL you can share with anyone. They can access this document. I just copy this and share in the chart here. Yeah. Can you access this document and Samsavaru garu and Narasimha garu? So I just shared the link here in the chart. Can you click on that link so that it will be accessible or not? You can check. I shared one link here in the chart, GoToMeeting chart.
Is denied.
It's a denied, right? Access denied.
Yes.
So why it is denied?
Authentication is there.
Because I haven't enabled public access. So we have to enable public access, right? How to enable public access? Let us try to understand. Yeah. So this is our document, right? So just go to object actions, click on object actions, make public. Click on make public and click on make public. So now it is enabled. Can you try now? ఒకసారి ట్రై చేయండి.
Accessible, sir. Accessible.
Now it is accessible, right? So once you make the public access, then only it will be accessible, right? So this is the way we can upload files, we can upload folders, whatever you want to upload. Up to 5 GB you can utilize to the S3 bucket, right? If you utilize beyond the limits, you will get the bill, right? Yeah, this is the way we can create S3 buckets, we can upload documents, right? We can give access to the team members, other friends also we can give, right? Like this, you can access the documentation. You can upload the files. Any questions and ఎంతవరకు ఎవరికైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయండి క్లియర్ కదా
సార్ S3 డాక్యుమెంట్స్ లో నేమ్ గ్లోబల్ అన్నారు కదా, అది
ఏంటండి
S3 లో నేమ్ గ్లోబల్ అన్నారు కదా, అది
అవునండి
అది మన అకౌంట్ వరకా లేకపోతే ఆల్ ఓవర్ ద డెవాప్స్, అది AWS?
అంటే మొత్తం AWS గ్లోబల్ గా ఉంటుందండి బకెట్. AWS అన్ని డేటా సెంటర్ లో ఉంటుంది మీ డేటా. సో మీరు ఏ రీజన్ నుంచి యాక్సెస్ చేసినా యాక్సెస్ అవుతుంది. మీరు ఇండియా నుంచి యాక్సెస్ చేసినా యాక్సెస్ అవుతుంది, అమెరికా నుంచి యాక్సెస్ చేసినా యాక్సెస్ అవుతుంది, ఎక్కడి నుంచి యాక్సెస్ చేసినా యాక్సెస్ అవుతుంది.
నేను
ఏ రీజియన్ లోనైనా ఉంటుంది డేటా.
మీ
సో మీరు
లాగిన్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు కదా సార్,
అవునండి అవును.
మీరు ఇచ్చిన నేమ్ నా అకౌంట్ తో లాగిన్ అయి నేను ఇస్తే అది కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ అవుతుందా?
లేదు లేదు కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ అవ్వదండి. యాక్సెస్ చేయ అంటే మీరు ఎక్కడి నుంచైనా మీరు లాగిన్ అవ్వచ్చు. అంటే మనం ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటంటే S3 బకెట్ ని ఏ రీజియన్ నుంచైనా మనం లాగిన్ అవ్వగలం. నా అకౌంట్ ఉందండి, నా అకౌంట్ ఇప్పుడు ఒహాయోలో ఉంది, ఒహాయోలో క్రియేట్ చేస్తాను బై డిఫాల్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు చూపిస్తుంది కదా US-2 అని, అక్కడ క్రియేట్ చేసాను. కానీ ఇక్కడ ఏం చూపిస్తుంది మనకి, ఇట్ ఈస్ షోయింగ్ గ్లోబల్. అంటే మనం ఏ రీజియన్ లో స్విచ్ అయినా యాక్సెస్ అవ్వగలం మన డేటాని, రైట్?
ఓకే.
నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఇంకొక సర్వీస్ కూడా చూద్దాం ఈరోజు, విచ్ ఇస్ క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్ అండి, మానిటరింగ్ టూల్. దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ మానిటరింగ్ టూల్. ఏంటంటే మానిటరింగ్ ఇంకోటి ఏముంది, ఓకే అది డిఫరెంట్ మానిటరింగ్ అండి, చూపిస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు చూసే మానిటరింగ్ టూల్ డిఫరెంట్ మానిటరింగ్. సో అది వర్షన్ ఏంటంటే వర్షన్ కంట్రోల్ ఓన్లీ S3 వరకే మానిటర్ చేస్తుంది. ఓన్లీ S3 లో ఆ బకెట్ లో మానిటర్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ S3 బకెట్ లో ఎవరైతే ఫైల్స్ అప్లోడ్ చేస్తారో డౌన్లోడ్ చేస్తారో అక్కడ వరకే మానిటర్ చేస్తుంది. కానీ క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్ అనేది కన్సోల్ మొత్తం మానిటర్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, యా. సో నెక్స్ట్ విల్ గో విత్ క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్. ఓకే, సో క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్ అంటే ఏంటి, సో వాట్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్, సో వేర్ వి యూజ్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్. ఓకే, సో వాట్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్, let us try to understand. So cloud trail is a monitoring tool. For AWS console. Right? Fine. So normally we have in cloud we have two monitoring tools, right? First is cloud trail. Cloud trail is for our console monitor, AWS console monitor. So this will monitor entire console. Whatever you do, everything will be monitored, right? So but another monitoring tool is there, which is Cloud Watch. Cloud Watch is for our infrastructure monitoring, server monitoring, right? Storage monitoring, or else auto scaling monitoring, right? Every service we can assign to the Cloud Watch, but a Cloud Trail is for only console monitoring. So for example, we are 10 members in the team members, okay? Everyone using same console. Who is doing what? Who is doing services? When the person is logged into, when the person is signed into the console, when he was signed out, right? So what resources he created, what resources deleted, everything will be monitored by Cloud Trail. So what is the main purpose of this? This is mainly for audits, client audits. Client will audit our accounts because we will maintain client accounts, right? So who is doing what services we are creating, what services removing, everything will be monitored by client. So we are handling one project which is a Singapore project, Singapore DBS project. So DBS Bank, right? So Singapore DBS project team members, they will visit to our office every quarter. So currently it is pandemic, right? So they are not visiting. So 2020 before they used to visit our office every quarter, and they will check the consoles. They will ask some questions. They will visit data center. So how we are maintaining the servers, how we are maintaining consoles, how we are maintaining resources. They used to audit every quarter. So from Singapore, that project members, they used to visit our office. So by the time we used to attend some round meetings, some video conferences. So by the time they used to ask some questions here, right? So by the time we have to explain, so they will ask you to provide some logs sometimes. Okay, so and so date last 1 year back we got some issues. Could you please provide that logs? Like they will ask, we have to provide the logs. And the last month we some issue happened with the network VPC. So can you provide that logs? Yeah, logs means it is a uh, logs means the tracing, issue tracing, event viewer. In Windows, we'll have event viewer, right? Event viewer means whatever we perform operations, that will generate one text file. That is nothing but log. Log means basically in that some whatever action performed, that details will be available in that log file. Using that log, we can troubleshoot the issues, right? So here also CloudTrail will generate log for every action, right? So that logs client will ask you to provide whenever they visit. So in last month, for example, some bill generated, extra bill, some issue happened, something happened. So by the time, so yeah, whenever they visit our office or whenever they monitor that, they will ask you to provide the logs. That particular time stamp, they will tell you that logs they will ask you to provide. So by the time, simply we can pick from the CloudTrail and we can provide the logs, right? Fine. So this is mainly for audits, client audits, and also console monitoring, right? Yeah, fine. Now, how to create CloudTrail, how to monitor the logs, we'll try to understand. So let us go and check the console. Yeah, click on go to services, management and governance. See here. Here we have CloudTrail. Click on this CloudTrail. Yeah, this is CloudTrail dashboard. Okay. Click on this navigation menu. Click on dashboard. See here. This is our CloudTrail dashboard. See here. So these are the logs generated by CloudTrail today. So when I log in my console, it will show you. So create bucket by September 24th, 9:55. I created one bucket. So bucket tagging, I added some tag to the bucket. So this time, okay. So I deleted some volumes. View full events history. Just go here. See here, 24th. You can check. These are the logs generated. Every action. Yeah, see here. Recovery point. See here. Console login. Today when I log in my console, 8:04 I log in console. Today I log in this time. 8 o'clock batch I log in console. Right? So 7 a.m. batch I haven't logged in console. So that is theoretical part. Okay. So by 8:04 I log in console. It will show you like this. So as a root, I log in. See here, username root. So in real time, normally we don't use root. Root will be disabled. In real time, which user we use? IAM user, identity and access management. Your name will be appearing here, right? So that user we can use and we can log in our console. If you click on this console, login console log, okay. So here event time, this is the event time, username, event name, console login, event source, sign in AWS, Amazon AWS account dot com, right? And AWS access key, AWS region, and error code, read only, event history, event ID, source IP address, on which IP address you log in. Like this, everything will be available in that. It is very easy to track, right? Yeah, fine. So these are the events, right? Different events are available, different logs are available. So this logs will be available until 90 days only. In AWS console, whatever logs are generating, those will be available until 90 days. So if the logs, for example, if the client is required 1 year back logs, how can we provide? And also, if you want to save logs, all the logs, it is very difficult. Download, saving. That is very big challenge. Every action, one log will be generated. Per day, 1,000 logs will be generated, for example. 1,000 logs manually we can't download, right? Because these logs will be deleted after 1 month, right? After 90 days, right? Yeah. How to save that logs, I'll show you. Before that, so this is my dashboard, event history dashboard, right? So if you want to customize this dashboard, currently we have 4 columns only, like event name, event time, username, event source. So if you want to add more columns here, go to settings, you can customize AWS access key, okay, and error code. I want to add these 2 columns, confirm. Now we have 6 columns here. See here are the 4. Currently, these are the 6, right? So like this, you can customize whatever you want. So after that, if you want to download any event, download as CSV format, JSON format, right? So whatever format you want to download, you can download. But manually, it is not recommended, right? Manually, we can't download. That is why what we will do, we'll create some trails. Trail means whatever logs generated in the cloud trail, those will be saved in somewhere. For example, this logs, if you leave it as is, this will be expired after 90 days, right? But this log should be available after 1 year also. So by the time, what we will do, so we'll create some trails which are nothing but cloud trails. Click on trails. So we have to create this trail. Click on create trail, trail name, cloud trails, right? Yeah. See here, storage location, where you want to save these logs. I want to save these logs in S3 bucket. So here it will ask you to create S3 bucket. If you want, you can create new bucket here, or else you can use existing bucket also. This logs, whatever logs you are generating, that you can save in existing bucket also, right? Use existing bucket. Click on browse. You can choose whatever buckets you have. I can choose this S3 bucket. Click on choose. So this is a prefix is optional, no need to give. And this encryption also, if you want to enable, you can enable. I want to disable this. And also log file validation. Log file validation. If you want to enable, you can enable. So SNS notification delivery. SNS concept is there. So we'll discuss this, right? So once one log is moved to S3 bucket, we'll get notified through email. If you enable this, you'll get notifications through SNS service, right? We don't require here. And also CloudWatch logs also not required. Don't need to enable CloudWatch logs. And tag name, you can give tag name. Cloud Trails. Next. Next one is event type, management events, data events, insight events. So whatever events you want to store into S3 bucket, you can select this, all events, right? Next one, API activity, read and write, you can give S3 and click on next. These are the details. Go down here. Click on create trials. Now, so the trial is created. It is created now, right? So now, if you go and check in S3 bucket, the logs will be started moving to S3 bucket. So existing logs will not be moved. From now onwards, whatever logs are generating, that will move to S3 bucket, right? Now go back to S3 bucket. First time create చేసుకోవాలి. ఇనిషియల్ గా కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకుంటే స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి లాగ్స్ అని వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అది కూడా మూమెంట్ ఉంది, స్క్రిప్ట్ రాసి చేసేయచ్చు. ఓకే, సో see here AWS logs, click on this. Cloud Trail, nothing is started. It will take some time. Whenever we operate, for example, whenever you create instance, delete instance, or create storage, whatever you operate, so one log will be generated. Now what I will do, so I operate something here, so I want to delete something in the console. So this is, I think it is not there here. Default VPC, should not delete this. I want to delete this S3 bucket. Second one. If you want to delete this, you have to copy and give the name here, bucket name, and click on delete. Now other S3 bucket is deleted here. So it will take few seconds to generate one log. Okay. Now if you go and check, open S3 bucket, AWS logs, open this Cloud Trail. So not yet created log here. It will take some time to generate logs. It will take some time to generate logs. So tomorrow session అవుతుందండి, ఎందుకంటే నాకు బర్త్డే ఫంక్షన్ వచ్చింది. ఓకే, టుమారో మార్నింగ్ వెళ్ళాలి. సో సండే రోజు కొంచెం ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకుంటాం. ఈ వీకే, నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి అలా ఉండదు. ఓకే, సో సండే రోజు 3 hours తీసుకుందాం. ఇస్ ఇట్ ఫైన్? సో రేపు ఒకరోజు స్కిప్ చేద్దాం సెషన్, సాటర్డే. సండే రోజు వీలైతే 3 hours తీసుకుందాం. మీ ఓకే అండి, లేదంటే 2 hours కవర్ చేసుకుందాం. సో మీకు 1 month లో ఖచ్చితంగా కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం కోర్స్, డోంట్ వరీ. ఓకే, సో మనం అంటే రేపు కొంచెం నాకు బర్త్డే ఫంక్షన్ ఉంటుంది, మార్నింగ్ వెళ్ళాలన్నమాట. సో దానివల్ల కొంచెం డిస్ట్రాక్షన్. సో సండే రోజు ఏ టైంలో కనెక్ట్ అవుదాము? ఏ టైంలో వస్తాను? సేమ్ టైమింగ్ 9కి వచ్చేద్దాం. 9 షార్ప్గా వచ్చేయండి. 9 to 1 వరకు ప్లాన్ చేద్దాం. లేదండి 9 to 11, 10, 11, 12 వరకు ప్లాన్ చేద్దాం. 3 hours. ఓకే, ఏంటండి మిడిల్లో ఒక 5-10 minutes బ్రేక్ తీసుకోవచ్చు కావాలి, రైట్? సో ఒక 5-10 minutes బ్రేక్ తీసుకొని మళ్ళీ కంటిన్యూ అవ్వచ్చు. సరే చూద్దాం. It is taking a lot of time. EC2 logs. EC2 logs అండి. EC2 logs కి మనం క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ అటాచ్ చేస్తాం. EC2. సో క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ మనం చేస్తున్నప్పుడు దాంట్లో చూపిస్తాం మీకు EC2 లాగ్ ఎలాగా లాగ్స్ జనరేట్ అవుతాయి. మనం EC2 అంటే సర్వర్ కదా, క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ ఏంటంటే ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ మానిటరింగ్, సర్వర్ను మానిటర్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. సర్వర్ డౌన్ అయినా అప్ అయినా, సర్వీస్ డౌన్ అయినా, సిపి యూటిలైజేషన్ ఎక్కువ యూటిలైజ్ అవుతున్నా మానిటర్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. ఓకే, సో అది మనం క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ చేసినప్పుడు చూద్దాం. సివిఆర్ నాకు ఇప్పుడు జనరేట్ అవుతున్నాయి చూడండి లాగ్స్. ఓకే, సో ఈ లాగ్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే మీకు ఫస్ట్ ఏం చూపిస్తా అంటే ఇయర్ చూపిస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది ఓపెన్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఇయర్ చూపిస్తుంది ఫస్ట్ 2021, తర్వాత మంత్ చూపిస్తుంది 09, తర్వాత డేట్ చూపిస్తుంది. సో ఇన్సైడ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ డేట్ మనకి ఇప్పుడు లాగ్స్ ఉంటాయి. సివిఆర్ లాగ్స్ జనరేట్ అయ్యి మనకి, రైట్? సో దీస్ ఇలా లాగ్స్ మనకి జనరేట్ అవుతుంటాయి. ఇంకా మీకు ఏదైతే ఆపరేట్ చేస్తున్నారు టీమ్ మెంబర్స్ అన్ని లాగ్స్ వచ్చేస్తూ ఉంటాయి. S3 బకెట్ మేము 6 years నుంచి లాగ్స్ అని సేవ్ చేసి పెట్టాం. ఇది కూడా స్టోరేజ్ యూటిలైజ్ అవుతుంది కానీ తక్కువ యూటిలైజ్ అవుతుంది. సో జస్ట్ ఫైల్సే కదా, ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ టేక్ మచ్ స్పేస్. సో 6 years నుంచి లాగ్స్ మేము సేవ్ చేసాం. క్లయింట్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఏమంటాడంటే 3 years బ్యాక్ లాగ్స్ కూడా అడుగుతుంటాడు. సో ఆ ఇయర్లో వచ్చిన ఇష్యూ ఏంటి, ఆ లాగ్స్ ఒకసారి చూపించింది అంటాడు. మనం సింపుల్గా S3 బకెట్ ఓపెన్ చేసి డేట్ చెక్ చేస్తాం అంతే. అక్కడ డేట్ చూసేసి ఓపెన్ చేస్తాం, దట్స్ ఇట్. సో ఇలా మనం లాగ్స్ అన్ని కూడా మెయింటైన్ చేయాలండి రియల్ టైంలో. సో ఈ లాగ్స్ మనకి చాలా హెల్ప్ చేస్తాయి అనమాట. ట్రాకింగ్, హూ ఇస్ డూయింగ్ వాట్, అంటే ఎప్పుడు ఎలాంటి ఇష్యూస్ జరిగినాయి అంతా ట్రాకింగ్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో దీస్ ఆర్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో క్లౌడ్ ట్రయల్స్లో లాగ్స్ అనేవి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ రియల్ టైంలో. మనం ఇక్కడి నుంచే అంతా కూడా మానిటర్ చేస్తాం. రైట్? సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఏంటంటే మనకి సో ఈ ట్రయల్స్ రిమూవ్ చేయండి, లేదంటే లాగ్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతూనే ఉంటాయి మీకు. ఏదైతే లాగ్స్ జనరేట్ అవుతున్నాయో అన్ని లాగ్స్ కూడా S3 బకెట్లో ఫుల్ అయిపోతూ ఉంటాయి. సో ట్రయల్స్కి వెళ్ళండి, సెలెక్ట్ చేయండి ట్రయల్స్ని, క్లిక్ ఆన్ డిలీట్. ఆ రూల్స్ పోతాయి, ఆ రూల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే రూల్ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఇంకా మీకు S3 బకెట్లోకి లాగ్స్ వెళ్ళాం. సో మీరు S3 బకెట్ని డిలీట్ చేయాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ లాగ్స్ అని లోపల ఉన్న ఫైల్స్ అని క్లియర్ చేయాలి. S3 బకెట్లో ఉన్న ఫైల్స్ క్లియర్ చేస్తేనే S3 బకెట్ డిలీట్ అవుతుంది, లేదంటే మీకు డిలీట్ కాదు. సో S3 బకెట్ ఉంది ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఈ S3 బకెట్ నేను డిలీట్ చేయాలనుకున్నాను, డిలీట్ అవ్వదు. See here, the bucket is not empty. First empty చేయాలి bucket, then only you can delete, right? ఇంతవరకు ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయండి 3 sessions లో? ఈ 3 సర్వీసెస్ లో ప్రీవియస్ సెషన్స్ లో ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? సో అందరూ కూడా అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం కదా, మీరు అందరూ మీకు అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ అయిందా? చేసేయండి. ఈ రోజు రేపు కంప్లీట్ చేయలేదు అంటే మీకు ఇవన్నీ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారు మళ్ళీ మీరు. యా చెప్పండి, మీరు క్రియేట్ చేశారండి?
Yes, sir. We have created.
ఓకే, కొంచెం లౌడర్ గా మాట్లాడండి.
Yes, sir. We have created. Are we going to creating any web services, sir?
ఈ వెబ్ సర్వీసెస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం ఎప్పుడంటే, సో కుబర్నెటిస్ డాకర్స్ లో చేస్తాం, డెవాప్స్ టూల్స్ లో చేస్తాం.
Okay.
ఓకే అండి.
Okay, sir.
యా, సో నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేద్దాం, ఇంకొక సర్వీస్ చూద్దాం ఈరోజు. ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ కవర్ చేద్దాము, ఇంకొక సర్వీస్ కవర్ చేద్దామండి. నరసింహ గారు అండ్ సాంబశివరావు గారు ఒక స్మాల్ సర్వీస్ కవర్ చేద్దాము.
Okay, sir.
యా, సో ఇంకా 30 minutes ఉంది కాబట్టి ఒక సర్వీస్ కవర్ చేద్దాం, స్మాల్ సర్వీస్ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ కవర్ చేసుకుందాం, రైట్? ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్, యా, క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ నెక్స్ట్ చూద్దాం. అది ఉంటుంది, మన సర్వీస్ ఉంది. అంటే క్లౌడ్ వాచ్ ఎప్పుడు చూస్తామంటే మండే కానీ ట్యూస్డే కానీ చూద్దాం. మండే కాదు, సండే చూద్దాం క్లౌడ్ వాచ్. ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ means it is a simple notification service. Okay, simple notification service. So why we require this SNS? Where we use this SNS? Okay, so normally SNS will help you to send notifications stage wise, right? For example, we are using mobile data in our mobile, right? Geo data we are using, right? So when we watch any movie or when we watch anything, so once we stop that, or else once we enable the hotspot normally we enable, right, to connect laptop or any desktop, right? So by the time, if you utilize 200 MB for example, so once you stop that hotspot, it will send you, will get one notification, right? So you have utilized 200 MB of the data, right? That SNS, that request, that message, where it will come through SNS only. Backend SNS will be configured. SNS configured to the bandwidth, that internet, right? So SNS automatically send the notifications, right? So whenever we utilize any data, even though not only mobile, so broadband networks like broadband fiber optic networks, when we utilize 100 MB or 1 GB, we'll get notification, right? So if it is unlimited one, will not get anything. If it is a limited service, so for example monthly you are getting 10 TB, right? If you utilize 1 TB, you'll get notified through email or SMS, right? So backend SNS configured, that is why we are getting messages, right? And also we have one more service which is SQS, so which is nothing but simple queue service. Simple queue service means where we use this. So for example, when you book any product in online shopping like Flipkart or any Amazon shopping or Reliance Trends, right? So when we book any product, so immediately we'll get one SMS which is like your order has been placed, right? So and also once it is reached to our city, the product is out for delivery, right? And also once it is delivered, we'll get one more notification which is your product has been delivered, right? So this will send by SQS. It is a simple queue service. Every stage it will send one notification, stage wise, right? So normally we don't operate manually. Once we configure this, it will take care of all these things. SQS functionality is that, SNS functionality is that, broadband internet, right? Like that, right? Fine. SQS we don't create any lab. SNS we can create the lab, right? So let us go and create lab here. It is small service. It will not take much time. It will take 15 minutes, right? So go and create SNS services. Yeah, here AWS simple notification service. See here, application integration, simple notification service. If you are unable to find this, you can just search here SNS. You will get that simple notification service. Like that, you can search, right? So click on this SNS. This is SNS dashboard, right? So this is the dashboard. So now here we have topics, subscriptions, text messaging, right? So yeah, different numbers also not required this. Text message you can use, and also you can create topics. Topics means group. For example, we have one team group. For that group, we have to create one topic, right? So whenever SNS is sent to the notification, it will send to our group, right? So create topic here. Click on create. So topic name we have to provide. So FIFO and standard. FIFO means first in, first out. So we have to use standard one here. Group name is DevOps batch something. Okay. So display name also can give. This is optional. It's not mandatory. So encryption optional. Encryption, if you want to enable, you can enable, or else you can skip this because this is optional. Access policy also optional, and delivery retry policy also optional. Delivery status logging also optional. Tags also optional, but tags required, right? I can give tag name, tag, create topic. So now I created one SNS topic here. See here, if you click on topics, this is the SNS topic. I created one topic here, right? So open this topic, see here. So topic name, group name, this is the group name. Name here, ARN number, ARN means, so here ARN, AWS, SNS, region, ID, and a group name, right? Display name, this is the name, topic number, this is the topic number, type standard, right? Now, so next one is we have to create subscription instead of this topic to send SNS messages, right? So this is for normally testing in this SNS services for testing. But where we configure SNS, wherever we see that SNS in real console, in real services, like for example, S3 bucket also we have one SNS. While working on auto scaling, we create one SNS, right? Yeah. So now create subscription here. Click on create subscription. So subscription topic name is topic ARN is this is the ARN and the protocol. So I want to use email. First I want to use email. Okay. So endpoint email address, you have to provide some email address. So I want to give some email address like something I want to give valid email. Right. So next one is subscription filter policy not required. So read drive policy not required. Create subscription. You can create subscription. Subscription is successfully created here, right? So it is created, but see here. So subscription is created with this email address, but it is in pending confirmation. So it is showing pending. So yeah, we create subscription, but it is showing pending. So we have to go to this email and we have to validate this subscription. Then only it will be confirmed. It will be activated, right? So subscription we have to enable, for which we have to go to this email address and we have to validate that. One link will be sent to that email that we have to click on that. It will be validated, right? So go to email gmail.com. See here, not this one. Refresh this. promotions, go to promotions, social, not yet received, right? So we'll get that email that we have to validate. So which email we give to 65? So let us go and check here. Yes.
So check it in spam. Check it in spam.
I think spam లో వచ్చింది. So spam. Spam లో వెళ్ళిందండి, కరెక్ట్. ఫైన్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ స్పామ్ లో ఉంది, రైట్? యా, స్పామ్ లో AWS notification, right? Subscription confirmation. So open this. See here, confirm subscription. You got this, right? If you click on this, it will be confirmed in the SNS, right? So click on this confirm subscription. Now it is confirmed. Subscription confirmed. Go to here and you can refresh this. See here, now it is confirmed, right? So this is activated now. SNS is activated. So now if you want to send any notifications, right? So go to topics, open this topic, publish message, right? Click on publish message. Here subject line, which is SNS text, right? Now go here, yeah, you can type something. This is SNS text, something you can give, and click on publish message. Once you click on this publish message, so we'll get one email to our email address, test email. See here, got this email, right? So this is SNS test subject line. So body of the message, this is SNS test email, right? So we got this SMS. So message from through email. Also we can send message through SMS also. SMS message, right? How to send SMS? See here, mobile text messaging. Publish message. Click on this. Here promotional or transitional. We have to select transitional and give your mobile number like this, and this is SNS test. Click on publish message. Something, this account is in the sandbox. Yes, okay. Question message. Message immediately వచ్చేస్తుంది మెసేజ్. See here, నాకు వచ్చింది మెసేజ్ అయితే వచ్చింది ఇక్కడ. This is test SNS test అని వచ్చింది లాస్ట్ మెసేజ్. ఓకే, ఇలా మీరు ఎన్నిసార్లు పబ్లిష్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇది టెస్టింగ్ కోసం మాత్రమే. కానీ సో వేర్ ఎవర్ వి సీ దిస్ SMS ఇన్ ద సర్వీసెస్, there we can activate this SMS. అంటే మనం క్లౌడ్ ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తాము, ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ఉంటుంది, అక్కడ నోటిఫికేషన్ ఎనేబుల్ చేస్తాం. ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ఆటోమేటిక్ గా పంపిస్తుంది నోటిఫికేషన్స్, రైట్? ఏ సర్వీస్ అయితే ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ పంపిస్తుంది అక్కడ మనం ఎనేబుల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
Integrate in this real time, sir.
ఏంటండి?
How can we integrate, sir? Whenever the purpose came at that time, how it will work?
కరెక్ట్ అండి, అదే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తానండి. సో ఇది మనం టెస్టింగ్ కోసం యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం కూడా, కానీ మనం రియల్ టైం ఎలా అంటే వేరెవర్ వి సీ దట్ ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం గ్లేషియర్ ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం. గ్లేషియర్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఐ షో యూ దట్ గ్లేషియర్, S3 గ్లేషియర్, రైట్? ఐ షో యూ రియల్ టైంలో ఎక్కడ వాడతామని చెప్తాను నేను. సో ఫస్ట్ మనం వాల్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి గ్లేషియర్కి. క్లిక్ ఆన్ క్రియేట్ వాల్ట్. వాల్ట్ నేమ్ వీ కెన్ గివ్ Glacier. Next, చూడండి, do not enable notifications. Enable notifications and create new SNS topic and enable notifications and use an existing SNS topic, right? So ఇక్కడ నుంచి enable చేసుకోవచ్చు మన SNS. Wherever we see that the direct SNS ని enable చేసుకుంటే SNS ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఏంటి, మనకి నోటిఫికేషన్ పంపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో ఎక్కడైతే మనకు కనిపిస్తుందో అది అక్కడ ఎనేబుల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. మనకి ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ లో ఉంటుంది, విపిసిలో ఉంటుంది. సో ఎవ్రీవేర్ ఇట్ విల్ బి అవైలబుల్, రైట్? సో వేర్ ఎవర్ వి సీ దట్ యూ కెన్ ఎనేబుల్ దట్. ఓకే, క్లియర్ అండి?
Okay, sir. Will it be available in EBS and S3 and EFS all?
అన్ని సర్వీస్ కాదండి, కొన్ని సర్వీస్లో అయితే ఉంటుంది ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ నోటిఫికేషన్ కోసం. మీకు నెక్స్ట్ ఆటో స్కేలింగ్ లో వర్క్ చేసినప్పుడు చూపిస్తాను, ఎలా నోటిఫికేషన్స్ వస్తాయని చూపిస్తాను మీకు. ఓకే, సో అండ్ ఆల్సో వైల్ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ బ్యాకప్స్ కూడా ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ ఉంది. ఓకే, అప్పుడు కూడా మేము చూద్దాం. ఫైన్ అండి. సో మనం ఇక్కడ స్టాప్ చేద్దాం. ఈరోజు 4 సర్వీసెస్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం కదా, ఇవి చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మనకి. EBS వాల్యూమ్స్, S3 బకెట్, క్లౌడ్ ట్రైన్ అండ్ SMS, ఈ 4 కాన్సెప్ట్స్ కూడా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి. సో సండే విల్ కనెక్ట్ బ్యాక్ అండి. సండే రోజు 9 o'clock షార్ప్గా కనెక్ట్ అవుదాం. మీరు క్లాస్ రూమ్కి వచ్చేస్తారు కదా, షార్ప్గా వచ్చేయండి. సో ఆ రోజు మనం 3 hours. చెప్పండి.
No, sir.
సో రేపు ఒక్కరోజు మనం స్కిప్ చేద్దామండి. నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి మనం అలా స్కిప్ చేయొద్దు. వీకెండ్స్ కొంచెం ఎక్కువ కవర్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, సో అంటే ఎందుకంటే మనం రెగ్యులర్ క్లాసెస్లో 2 hours కాబట్టి వీకెండ్ ఖచ్చితంగా మనం స్పెండ్ చేద్దాం. సో మనకి 1 month లో అవ్వాలి కాబట్టి, సో విల్ కవర్ వీకెండ్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ. ఫైన్ అండి. సో ఇక్కడ మనం స్టాప్ చేద్దాం ఈరోజు. సో విల్ కనెక్ట్ బ్యాక్ ఆన్ సండే 9 AM. ఫైన్. Thank you all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.